1, 2, is this on?
Wrestling is like a never-ending story that likes to reflect and call back to the past.
There's one thing you're better at than I am, and that's kissing Vince McMahon's ass.
You're better than me at one thing. You're the best bullshitter in the world.
Especially to move current stories along.
Tell me when I'm telling lies!
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
It's a nice Easter egg for fans, since it rewards them for paying attention and following so closely.
Well, Rocky Maivia is a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them.
The Rock is a lot of things, Philadelphia, but sucks isn't one of them.
Today we're focusing on recreated talking segments you might not realize were nods to the past.
I'm the one behind the one in 21 and 1. Because I'm the one behind the one in 29 versus 1.
We'll cover plenty today as we highlight wrestlers who called back to old promos.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
They say that all men are created.
Chris Jericho's WWE debut saw him run down the company by stating he was there to be their new savior. Jericho then reimagined this promo in January 2016, opening with similar material.
I am Chris Jericho, your party host, and most importantly, the most charismatic showman to ever enter your living rooms via a television screen. And I am Chris Jericho, your party host and one of the most charismatic showmen in WWE history.
Jericho introduced himself to the WWF audience in '99.
And for those of you who do know me, well, all hail the Ayatollah of rock and roller! For everyone that knows me, I say all hail the Ayatollah of rock and roller!
Only to reintroduce himself here some 16 years later during one of his many returns.
Chris Jericho has come to save the WWF! I have now returned to save the WWE.
The Federation was flying high when Chris first arrived in August '99, so it was interesting how the content of his promo more or less described the place where he'd just come from, that being WCW, who were essentially a sinking ship that were nosediving in every metric Chris mentioned in his promo.
Now let's go over the facts. Television ratings, downward spiral. Pay-per-view buy rates, plummeting. Let's look at some statistics as well. Network subscriptions, television ratings, live event attendance, all of them need a shot in the arm. All of them need a boost.
In 2016, the original and recreated words certainly rang true regarding this version of WWE Chris had returned to, since they continued to decline each year.
And now that the Y2J problem is here, this company, from the front office idiots to all the amateurs in the dressing room, to everybody watching tonight, will never, ever be the same again. And I'm telling you this, now that the Y2J problem has returned to the WWE, everyone in this company, from the front office to the monkeys in the truck to every single superstar, will never, be the same again.
Though it was always fun to see Chris drop back in, as this promo proved. Sometimes a segment is so bad, we do our absolute best to try and forget it. But perhaps this just makes it that much funnier when someone jokingly refers to such an abomination. Case in point when Mick Foley as Mankind referenced JR's infamous rap battle with Michael Cole from the 2011 Slammy Awards show. Jim unfortunately forgot his bars, which made for hopelessly awful television.
Michael Cole, you're a damn fool. The king beats you like a government mule. I should be calling Raw, cause you ain't on my level. You kiss the king's feet, now you can kiss my ass. How's that?
14 years later at the 2025 Sammys, Mankind reminded us of JR's botch in hilarious fashion.
Michael Cole, you're a damn fool. The king beat you like a government mule. I should be calling Raw because you're not on my level. You kissed the king's feet. Now you can kiss my ASS. So I didn't know if we could say ass on television or not, so.
Mick also recreated one of his own lines from the classic Three Faces of Foley 1997 interview.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
I think I am thinking what you think I think you're thinking.
Can you bring them out, Manny?
I think you know what I'm thinking. I think you think I know what you think I'm thinking. It's my first time up here.
All in all, it was quite fitting given that Mick was presenting the WTF moment of the year, which were our exact thoughts while watching this entire thing. The Rock obviously has plenty of catchphrases and insults he likes to reuse, but some of his most important lines were just one-offs, or so we thought. The first we'll touch on brings us back to his heel turn after joining the Nation of Domination in '97. Here, Rock delivered a pivotal breakout promo, which he considers to be his personal favorite. It featured an iconic opening in which Rock responded to all the fans who told him he sucked as a babyface.
Well, Rocky Maivia is a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them.
As the final boss in 2024, Rock ran it back after turning heel once again.
The Rock is a lot of things, Philadelphia, but sucks isn't one of them.
Next, we circle back to another heel turn from the Great One, this time in 2003, where Hollywood Rock was born. However, the People's Champ appeared to give the audience a choice on if he was going to be a heel or face, but given that the Brahma Bull had previously left for Hollywood to pursue acting, the people's mind was already made up.
One question. Do you really want to boo The Rock?
The final boss posed this same question to modern fans after trying to take away fan favorite Cody Rhodes' spot in the WrestleMania 40 main event.
Are you sure you want to boo The Rock?
Dusty Rhodes talking about hard times in 1985 is in the conversation for one of the greatest promos ever cut. It's full of emotion and gives us goosebumps every time, as Dusty, the blue-collar son of a plumber, speaks about how the affluent Ric Flairs put hard times on the American dream, comparing it to the hardships felt by those same working-class folk who see Dusty as one of them.
Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, daddy. That's hard time.
It was also fitting that Dusty's Hall of Fame speech in 2007 reimagined hard times, but through the lens of a professional wrestler spending his life on the road to provide for his family and put on a show for the fans.
Being kicked off the assembly line here in Detroit after 40 years, they give you a gold watch. That's hard times. You look at driving down the road night after night, trying to make a town, getting $25. That's hard times. And you go home and you see people just dying out there on the streets, people crying about their children being in Iraq. That's hard times. It's our duty to make it good times for the fans that pay their money to see us perform each and every night.
Dusty closed out the Hall of Fame by acknowledging another of his iconic promos.
I have wined and dined with kings and queens, and I've slept in alleys and dined on pork and beans. Truly, tonight, I have wined and dined with kings and queens. Thank you.
CM Punk segments are full of callbacks and winks to history, including tributes to his idol, Rowdy Roddy Piper.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and sign a contract, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's simple as this.
Just when they think they got the answers, I change the questions.
Simple as this. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the culture.
You do not throw rocks at a man who's got a machine gun.
To quote a great man, you never throw rocks at a man with a machine gun.
Punk has also reused stuff he said in AEW.
I will become a monster to fight the monsters of the world.
I will become a monster to fight the monsters of the world.
But I now see that I have to become a monster to stop the monster.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
The more things change, the more things stay the same. I work with children.
As of his opponents,
Tell me when I'm telling lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
But above all, Punk remasters his own work in a very clever way, repurposing things he said in the past and fitting them into current storylines. And that's because his character arc is so closely aligned with his real life story.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
This would normally be the part of the program where I ask you, do I have your attention now?
Come Royal Rumble, understand when you step in the ring, your arms are just too short to box with God.
10 years ago, he remembers coming face to face with the Second City Saint and realizing that his arms were just too short to box with God.
You, like the Red Sox, like Boston, are no longer the underdog. You're a dynasty. You are what you hate. You have become the New York Yankees.
If you're any type of a man, if you're more Boston Red Sox than you are New York Yankee.
The pipe bomb is Punk's most famous and recited promo. It's something he goes back to on a regular basis, reminding us he's still the best in the world.
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
They're going to have to come to terms with the fact that their best efforts at being the best in the world, in this ring, on this microphone, even at commentary, isn't just false, but it's a lie.
Oh, best in the world. In that ring, even at commentary, on the microphone, now a referee. Nobody can touch me.
It's because I am the best in the world, in this ring, on this microphone, even at commentary.
What's old is new again, but familiar faces remain the same.
John Cena, while you lay there, hopefully as uncomfortable as you possibly can be, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
Are you comfortable, John? I want you to be comfortable because I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
I'm just a spoke on the wheel. The wheel's gonna keep turning, and I understand that.
We're all spokes on a wheel. I've said it very famously, and I've always known that. And it's time CM Punk taught John Cena that he's just a spoke on the wheel, too.
No recreation of the pipe bomb hit harder than when a heel John Cena did his own version in 2025, when feuding with Punk on the Last Time Is Now farewell tour.
I want you to digest this, because before I leave in 3 weeks with your WWE Championship, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
As you lay there in your most uncomfortable, I hope you can listen. I hope you can digest. Because before I leave here, in 6 months with that WWE Championship, I gotta get a whole lot of stuff off my chest.
John replicated many of the original key lines, while the Second City Saint lay there put through a table.
I hate this idea that you're the best, because you're not. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world.
I hate this idea of you, this idea that you're the best in the world. You're not. I'm the greatest of all time.
The roles were now reversed, with Cena threatening to leave with the WWE Championship, while Punk was fighting for the company.
There's one thing you're better at than I am, and that's kissing Vince McMahon's ass.
You're better than me at one thing. You're the best bullshitter in the world.
Just like Punk in 2011, John smashed down the fourth wall by mentioning names from other promotions.
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Hey, I'm breaking the fourth wall. Ha ha!
Hey, Colt Cabana, how you doing?
Hey, Claudio Castagnoli. Hey, Nick Nemeth. Hey, Matt Cardona, how you guys doing?
This was poetic given their history, and somewhat emotional for invested fans who watched it all go down back in the day.
But Vince McMahon's gonna make money to spite himself. He's a millionaire who should be a billionaire.
You're no longer the voice of the voiceless. You're a friggin' millionaire. Despite yourself.
It was an intriguing way to build to Punk and Cena's final ever match against each other.
I told you something. Uh-oh.
Scott Steiner's famous Steiner math promo from TNA in 2008 was one of the funniest moments in wrestling. Big Papa Pump's character was that of a trash-talking, womanizing meathead, so seeing him bust out the mathematics surprised everyone. It was particularly impressive because according to math experts, the numbers actually check out.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. So Small Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance, minus my 25% chance, then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and 2/3%, I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice.
The promo has been redone a few times, including by Scott's nephew, Bron Breakker. Ahead of his Intercontinental title defense at WrestleMania 41 in a fatal 4-way match, Bron gave fans at the kickoff show a little Steiner math lesson.
They say that all men are created equal. But if you look at this fatal 4-way match and the members that are in it, you will see that that statement is not true. See, normally, I'd have a 25% chance of winning. But I'm a badass, and that statement is not true.
Fans already knew Breakker was a barking, spearing badass in the ring, but who knew that mathematical genetics could be passed down so seamlessly? Scott was the genetic freak, but now it was time for Breakker to genetic teach the fans, to prove that Steiner math doesn't lie, and that the numbers spell disaster for their opponents. Holla if you learned something.
See, Dominic Mysterio knows that he can't beat me, so he's not even gonna try, so I've got a 50% chance of winning right out of the gate. Then you add Penta to the equation. Now Penta is an incredible superstar, but Penta is scared of me. He's scared of the dog. So he's got a 25% chance of winning at best. You add that to my already 50% chance of winning, I got a 62.5% chance of winning. Then you add Finn Balor to the equation. Now Finn Balor's record at WrestleMania is 1-3, which means he's got a 33.3% chance of winning. He's got a 66.7% chance of losing. You add that to my already 62.5% chance of winning, I got a 129.2% chance of winning.
Given how Roman Reigns' story arc has run directly through Paul Heyman for most of Roman's career, it was only right that their special counsel tribal chief relationship features some callbacks reflecting on their history together, including the time when Paul said what most fans were thinking, when Reigns was set to challenge Heyman's client, Brock Lesnar, for the WWE title at WrestleMania 31.
Reigns, only a fool would say you're not the one. You, sir, are the right guy in the right place at the wrong time.
Roman smartly recalled this line when feuding with Drew McIntyre in 2020.
What I'm about to tell you, Paul told me years ago. You are the right guy in the right place at the wrong time.
Both were world champions at the time, but just like Reigns was a second on the totem pole to Lesnar in 2015, Drew was now in that position going up against Roman, since Reigns was considered and referred to as the one.
You will always be my favorite number 2.
Let's now look at one more acknowledgement to the one, as in 2025, Heyman used his previous one behind the one comment that was famously only reserved for Lesnar, dating back to when Brock famously broke The Undertaker's WrestleMania undefeated streak.
And I'm the one behind the one in 21-1.
But perhaps the wise man's journey with Roman had now overtaken Paul's run with Lesnar, therefore making Roman Heyman's all-time one-of-one number 1.
As irony would have it, I'm the one behind the one. The one GOAT, greatest of all time. The one and only tribal chief. Oh, one's in the air.
Now if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our similar video on 10 times WWE wrestlers beat each other up for real. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.